Welcome back to Parks and Recreation Today. We're excited about being in the brand new Veterans Park in downtown Fort Mill, and it is my honor to welcome my guest in this segment, the Honorable Mayor of the town of Fort Mill, Danny Funderburk. Welcome, Mayor Funderburk.
Thank you, Brown. Pleasure to be here, man.
Well, we're glad to have you here with us, and we want to talk a little bit about the Veterans Park. But before we do that, tell us a little bit about your background and the years of service you've had in public life here in Fort Mill.
Well, Brown, it's an ongoing deal for me. Lots of public service over the years, lots of the civic groups around town I've been able to contribute. I wanted to kind of expand on that and be able to create a lot more impact, and I think politics is certainly the way to do that. So a stint on council followed by this stint as mayor. We're looking at, hopefully with the blessing of the public, we'll get another 4 years and have an opportunity to follow through on some of these projects. But we're real excited about what we've been able to do, and we're real excited about the future.
Well, that's great. We're sitting in this brand new Veterans Park. Tell us how this idea became a reality.
The Veterans Park, I think, probably has been an item that's been on the back of the mind of many of the veterans in Fort Mill for many, many years. To make a long story short, it's long past due. It was a project that we decided about 3.5 years ago that we would gain some momentum on. Obviously, we went to the planning stage. We called in the veterans and had some input from them. But it's been a great project for the town. It's been one of those opportunities for us to demonstrate how we feel about the contribution of our veterans. It's been a collaborative effort between the town, obviously, and a number of the different civic groups around town, and the veterans, obviously. So we're real pleased that everybody has come together to make this park a reality.
What do you think this Veterans Park means to our veterans in Fort Mill, Mayor Funderburk?
I think it's, again, it demonstrates to them how much we appreciate the sacrifice that they've made. To make a long story short, freedom is not free. And there had to be a contribution, had to be a sacrifice on the part of our veterans to make this happen, an ongoing sacrifice on the part of our veterans. And this park reflects our appreciation for everybody from our World War I, World War II vets, obviously Korean War vets, Vietnam vets, all of the different conflicts that have now taken place in the Middle East. They're all represented here. These pavers, I think, are a good indication of the support of the community. We've got 500 or so, with another 200 or so, I think, that are in the works for the next installment. So it's been a great demonstration, I think, on the part of the community, and I think it's been well received by the veterans as they understand now that although it's been a long time coming, at least we went about it and did it right. It's just a beautiful park.
It really is. I mean, it's something for the people of Fort Mill to be proud of. So it's been a lot of planning, a lot of hard work put into it.
Absolutely.
Mayor, talk to us a little bit about what the project cost and the partnerships, private and public, that were established to create the park.
Right. Well, as with most things in this challenging economy, the town cannot foot the bill by itself. We had to have help. We understood that we needed to develop some strategic partnerships, and we went about doing so. Obviously, the most important strategic partner being the veterans groups. The American Legion stepped up to the plate in a big way. They actually took the lead in some of the design features here and discussing it with the design group that we used to come up with the concept for the park. The paver project was headed up by our Veterans Committee. And let me just drop a name for you. I don't want to leave anybody out, but Nat Helms, I tell you, he's just really, he's taken this project by the horns, and he's wrestled it to the ground better than just about anybody else could have done. Been very pleased with all the work, all the time, all the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears that he's put into this project. It's been a labor of love for him, I'm sure, as it has been for all of our veterans. But they were certainly a major partner. But certain other civic groups also have taken an interest in the project. The Move Fort Mill Forward bunch partnered with them to go through some of the fundraising aspects of it. So, but it's been primarily a town veterans project with assistance from some of the civic groups. So when you take a look at it and break it down, you could put percentages on it, but I prefer to just take a look at it and say, hey, we were all partners in making it happen.
Right, and that's a good way to look at it. You're exactly right. Talk to me a little bit about and tell us about the design of the park. Who assisted with that? What group assisted with that?
We brought in a group called Land Design who does quite a bit of work here around the town. They were also responsible for the Millstone Park project across the street. And we were always very, very conscious of trying to keep a look or a feel throughout this park structure that we put up here. Working from obviously our long-standing Confederate park, trying to keep the feel for the brickwork, for the textile mill heritage, you know, some of those things actually kind of factored in there. But when it gets to this park specifically, I mean, you take a look around, all branches of service are represented here: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. The really great story is the story about the Doughboy. When you take a look at the Doughboy and you take a look at the artist rendering that we commissioned some 2.5, 3 years ago, there was absolutely no connection between this actual Doughboy that you see here and the artist rendering. From the standpoint of, I mean, the artist rendering was done before we ever secured this Doughboy here. The story is basically this, Brown. We, I guess through the network, we're looking for a bronze statue to be the centerpiece here. We had decided that it would be a Doughboy, and a gentleman out in Iowa who produces these pieces found out about it through that network of artists, and made the phone call to us and said, "I understand that you folks are looking for a Doughboy." And we told him yes, we were. We got some prices from him and what have you, and they were all in the six-figure range. He said, however, he said, "I think I got a deal for you." And so we asked him what the deal was, and basically it amounted to the fact that another municipality had commissioned this particular Doughboy statue and had to back out of the purchase. So he was there, caught with it, and he said, "If you guys will take this Doughboy off my hands, we'll give it to you for about 30, it was like 30, 40 grand. Can't remember the exact figure, $35,000. But we ended up with this Doughboy, and it was uncanny. When you take a look at the Doughboy and the artist rendering, and this Doughboy here, it's like he used this Doughboy to do the artist rendering. And we both know that didn't take place. So
right.
we take a look at it and say that in essence we were fated to get this Doughboy. It was fated to be the centerpiece of this park.
Well, that's great. Asking you a personal question, what touches you most about this park personally, and what do you think how will this park touch the citizens of Fort Mill?
This park will be a fixture, a centerpiece of the town's amenities for many, many years to come. And to know that it took place here in the last 3.5, 4 years, I'm personally very proud that we were able to pull the coalition of partners together to make it happen. The design, I think, reflects the importance of each branch of service into the overall protection of this country. We've made sure that everybody is represented here. But I guess, you know, to take a look at it and understand that it's an extension of what we've tried to accomplish here in the last 4 years, and that is to involve as many people as possible in these projects to make these projects happen. You know, when you take a look at the veterans, when you take a look at the other civic groups that were called upon to step up, the very talented town staff that we have in place that took this project personal and made it happen. You know, to know that it happened here in the last 4 years is very, very pleasing to me.
Well, that's great, and like you said, it's been a lot of work, a lot of partners that's partnered with us, a lot of volunteer time's been put into a project like this too. So
no question about it.
And we appreciate all those folks that contribute to that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the money was important. I mean, you're looking here at about a $300,000 project, but there's no way to measure the amount of personal commitment that went into the hours that were involved in the sales aspect of it as you went around trying to solicit sponsorships. You know, as we got together as a group collectively to look through the design process and to look through the you know, the different aspects, pulling it together conceptually. You know, it's just all been a very, very gratifying project.
We talk about the brick pavers. There's still an opportunity for people to purchase a brick paver.
Oh,
want to talk about that briefly?
Oh, absolutely. The opportunity to purchase pavers is obviously ongoing. You know, we were shooting for a July 4th dedication. We were going to try to coordinate it in conjunction with what we were doing for July the 4th. There were some construction-related issues that made us feel like it was not going to happen. And so we saw the value in setting up a separate freestanding event for later into August. At first we were going to do it early August, but then we decided in an attempt to make sure we allowed the kids an opportunity to get back to school and to be a part of everything, we set it for August the 20th at 10 o'clock a.m. And you know, when you take a look at that, man, it's an opportunity, I think, for kids to come and be a part of something that is really a heritage that most young people don't really think about that much. You know, the contribution of these veterans, I mean, from this point forward, will be recognized by the town of Fort Mill. It'll be something as they ride up White Street here, they can make that glance across here, they can see this Doughboy, these handsome granite obelisks, you know, that represent each of the branches of service, these beautiful flags as they're unfurled in the wind. I mean, it's going to make a pretty picture, and it's going to always be a constant reminder of how important the contribution of our veterans were.
Well, and I think that we can't emphasize that enough, especially what's happened recently with losing Marine Staff Sergeant T.J. Dudley, who was a Fort Mill native, and he passed away recently in Afghanistan, and we of course extend our sympathies to his family. And you know, this is a significant part of not only remembering TJ, but all of our veterans who served throughout time to make this country what it is.
No question about it. No question about it. That one hits home, and it's certainly timely with its impact, but you know, it's no less contribution from any of these veterans who have died in the service of their country. But we'll certainly be remembering TJ when we do our dedication.
We will. We're right. And we want to remind folks once again that time will be August the 20th, 10 a.m. here at the new Veterans Park in downtown Fort Mill. Everyone's invited to come to that. It's a free, open event. And we certainly will have some more information on our town website at www.fortmillsc.org, or you can call the town office at 547-2116. Mayor Funderburk, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure, Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Parks and Recreation today. I'm Brown Simpson, and have a great day.